Welcome back to Island Life Live. Get ready for an inside look at the people who bring Hawaii's most popular attraction, the Polynesian Cultural Center, to life.
Sharing Aloha is a 95-minute feature documentary premiering in theaters August 29th.
Here to tell us more is the director and producer of Sharing Aloha. We got Blair True. Thank you so much for being here.
Hey, it's great to be here. And you guys were at our premiere, so that was cool.
We were.
That was amazing.
But you know, I wish somebody told us in the when we came in that we needed Kleenex, because I mean, you took us through this journey of emotions. You had us laughing, you had us crying, but most importantly, proud to be Polynesian. Just take us behind the scenes and tell us like more about the movie for our viewers that may not have heard about it yet.
Well, it's a behind-the-scenes look at all things Polynesian Cultural Center. And at the center of this whole thing are these students that come in from the 15 million square miles of the Pacific to work there. They go to school at the adjacent BYU Hawaii, and in exchange for 19 hours a week, they graduate debt-free, four-year degree.
That is amazing.
So it's the equivalent of like what we used to call a Division I athletic scholarship.
Right.
So housing, tuition, books, room and board, health care, and they get to perform their own culture. And the PCC was so awesome to let us backstage. And so we literally took it back. We were back in the kitchens and backstage and in the dorm rooms next door, you know, at school. So we followed some of them home. So it's not just confined to the PCC, although, you know, 80% of it is there.
And when you say home, you mean like their homeland?
Yeah.
Right?
So we went to Tonga and Fiji and all over the Pacific to follow these kids home. And it's a representation of, we have both freshmen all the way through seniors. So fresh off the plane, incoming, you know, freshmen that come in, all the way through graduating seniors.
That's just amazing. You know, and there were so many interesting things that we found out as we were watching this particular documentary. But for you, what did you find to be the most interesting thing coming out of this documentary? Something that you might have learned as director and producer?
Oh, there were so many things. I mean, from a management standpoint, you know, they put on this big production show, the night show. And they have such a high turnover because these kids are constantly graduating, right? Mm-hmm. And they've got tests and they've got exams, and I mean, they're there primarily to support them in school. And so on any given night, these kids could be playing any number of roles. And so what happens when half your cast has an exam that night? Oh, yeah. They got to fill those spots.
Right.
And so my hat's off to just the management at the PCC, the guys who run, and the women and men who run the night show, who have to fill those spots. And kudos to the students who are so flexible and who learn all the different parts. So that was one thing. And the other thing that really was fun to see was that these kids dance the culture of another. So you have Tongans, they dance their own section, but they also dance in the Fijian section. And so when you dance the culture of another, as a result, you learn to gain more respect, and it brings understanding and overall peace and
appreciation.
And I think these kids, they still have they're very well connected to their own culture, but they become Polynesians. If that makes sense.
Yeah, totally. We're all cousins of Moana Nui Akea. And I gotta say, one of the things that, if I may share, one of the interesting parts that I got from the movie was, you know, we see this polished show, How Breath of Life, and we see all the performers up front. And as you mentioned, you take us behind the scenes of the tunnels, and we get to see, it's almost like the Disneyland tunnels at Orlando, Florida, where you get to see the chaos. And they are able to run from this side of the stage to that side of the stage and then come out on stage with smiles, or, you know, it's just
quick
amazing.
changes, and they're running into each other.
It's a controlled chaos. It's almost it's like a duck, right? Everything looks so beautiful, so smooth on top, but underneath, furiously kicking its feet, right? Yeah, absolutely. So Sharing Aloha theatrical release is August 29th.
That's right.
And it's going to be available. Now, I know there was something that you said during the premiere, and I'd like to ask if you can please reiterate that to our viewing audiences about the importance of getting people to come and see this.
Yes, so one of the things that really excites us, and we've had some sponsors come on board that have been so gracious and so helpful, and the thing that excites them, you know, we've had Marriott Hotels up in Laie and Hawaiian Airlines. They came on board because they see the same thing that we see, and all the proceeds from this film go back to the General Scholarship Fund.
Ooh.
So that's what makes this film different from any other film that I've done. And so that opening weekend is key. And that sets the tone. And what's going to happen here is, if it does well here in Hawaii, it then spreads to all the western states on the mainland, and it's going out to Guam and American Samoa. And
so across the continent, across the Pacific.
But it all has to happen here. It starts this weekend, and if people go, they lay down, I know it's expensive to go to a movie, but if you lay down your hard-earned cash and go to that film, a major chunk of that is going to go right back to that scholarship fund. So you're doing some good at the same time as being entertained.
I love it, and I just love the fact that you're giving these the Polynesian culture through the Polynesian Cultural Center through its that work program is giving our cousins in the Moana Nui Akea a chance to go back home and make a difference in their own homeland. It's so chicken skins.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
All I can say is you need to see this movie.
Yes.
Wherever you sit, on whatever side of the
see it.
argument about PCC and BYU, go see this movie and you'll truly see how hard our Polynesian people work.
Tell them bring Kleenex.
And bring Kleenex. Blair,
There's a few laughs too. There's a few laughs.
Plenty laughs, and some crying too. It's such a
Blair
great show.
True, he is our producer and director. We thank him so much of sharing Aloha.
Thanks for having me.
Mahalo.